If you've ever wanted to know the secrets of a high ticket sales closer, you're in the right place because that's exactly what I've been. When I first moved to America, my first job was as a high ticket sales closer, and I was closing deals from $10,000 to $15,000 on the phone and on Zoom. Then I progressed and I started closing deals for $50,000. That was the highest ticket sale that I ever closed. And it was done on the phone, not even a Zoom call. So when I mean I've got the tricks of the trade, I got them. And I'm sharing them with you because there are bullshit. Like, even though I know how to do these sales gimmicky tricks, I don't use them on my own clients because it's just nonsense. So as I'm preparing for my Master the Art of Sales live webinar on the 15th of June, I want to share some of these sneaky little sales tricks that I've learned so that you can spot them for yourself and see why they are absolute nonsense. Because back when I used to believe in patriarchal bullshit, I believed these things. I thought it sounds like they make sense. Let me give that a try. But it's like when you think about it for a minute, it absolutely doesn't make any sense. So the first gimmick that you are trained to use is you must always write with your hands. It seems very authentic and real as if you're making it up, but we were taught these diagrams way ahead of time. Everything was scripted. So yeah, that's just the first trick. Another trick is use a whiteboard. So whenever you can, use a whiteboard, write things on a whiteboard, numbers, whiteboard, pen and paper, all that vibe. So you'll see a lot of people doing this online on social media, writing on a big whiteboard or writing on a piece of paper. And you think, oh, what's going on? Do they know something? But no, it's a trick. So if you're on a computer, you would use an iPad with a writing section. So it still looks like you're writing like with one of those Apple pens we would do. But whenever you could, use a whiteboard. So I'm using the whiteboard to really show you how effective that is. Now, this technique was the silver bullet. This is what we used if we had overcome all the sales objections, of which there are 4, and I'll share those with you on the 15th. We'd overcome the 4 major sales objections, but yet there was still a little bit of apprehension and I couldn't get that credit card then and there on the phone. We would do this. Watch and learn. So you would say, here you are to your client. Let's put them here. And if you can't see this, I'll move it at the end. Here you are. So you're the little red dot, okay? That's where you are today. And let's jump ahead 3 months' time and assume that you do nothing. You don't take action today. Here's where you'll be in 3 months' time, in the same spot. Nothing will have happened. Where do you want to be? And you've already got this information from them. You ask them what's their 10 out of 10 reality. What's what they want? What's everything that they want? So that's up here. It's like if they progressed. So let me show you the progression. If they move from where they were to where they want to be to a 10 out of 10 reality, here's where they would get to. And that's where they would be if they did nothing. So you get them to describe that. But then you say this. What would be worse than where you are now? So you've given me the best case scenario. You know what stagnation looks like, but what's worse? And that's where you draw this dot down here. And that's what happens if things got worse, which obviously we don't want to have happen. Now, you need a vehicle of support to take you where you want to go. And you can do that with structure and support and insert the offer that you're telling them that you can do. But this is when you start to get threatening. And this is what I call business BDSM that I've debunked in my book, Love, Play, Magic, Business Reimagined. And I'll unpack with you further on June the 15th when we actually deep dive into sales psychology and the nonsense behind it. But I'll tell it to you now in a quick overview. So you say to them, so where you want to go is here. You can't get there alone, unlikely. You'll probably stay where you are. But in reality, as you know, in life, you don't just stay the same. It gets worse. Because if you don't get support or encouragement along the way, you're like an elastic band. It loses its strength. It's like not going to the gym. You don't maintain your weight. You get fatter. Things get worse. And then they think, yeah, that's true. It does. It's not true, but that's what you tell them. So you say right here, if you don't do anything for a day, there's a small jump to get to where you want to go. The longer you wait, the bigger the jump. That's what you think. But in reality, you are degrading since the moment you get off this call. The moment you don't, you are not taking action, you are sliding back. So where you think you have just this little jump, it's double what you think it is. And the longer you wait, it gets almost impossible to ever achieve what you want to achieve. So tell me, are you really prepared to sacrifice your dreams because you're scared, because you want to wait? You want to wait on what you want? Like, and you go into like the consequences. Is it worth risking your goal and actually getting less than what you have now just because you don't want to take action? You know? And this is the shame. Now you're shaming them because they're afraid, and God forbid they're afraid, or they need to think about it. You mustn't think about it. You must do it now. You cannot think. You don't think money. If money is a concern, it's not a concern. How can you afford not to take this opportunity? Anyway, I'll go into more of the details of the other things that you say, but this is the vibe of this video. So you show them how bad it's going to get. Now, when I first saw this model, I was like, oh my gosh, that's true. I can't afford not to take action now. I'm sliding every second. This is terrifying, except for the fact that real growth is messy. And when you're actually supported, your real growth can be exponential. Your life can change in a moment. Just ask any alcoholic in recovery who made the tiny decision to stop drinking, how miraculous their life changed. One tiny decision. It's not like the world is just more complex than linear progression. You're not only going up or going down. You're going in all different directions. You're growing. That's the truth of reality. But this linear progression of patriarchal constructs, which are just the norm in marketing and business, just sound to be true because they're said as a matter of fact. And they're drawn on a whiteboard by a man holding a pen. So you think, oh, maybe that is true. It's not true. It's absolutely not true. This is what your growth is likely to look like. You're going to go there, you're going to go there, you're going to go around, you're going to go back and forth. You're going to have one idea that changes your life and takes you in a new direction. You're going to change your mind. You're going to start over from scratch. I mean, that is reality. This is not reality. And this is one of the ridiculous tricks that I learned and I used to think was lovely because it explained things neatly in a little box. But when you see someone with a whiteboard on social media drawing a diagram that sounds like it makes sense, just think for a minute, is this actually true? Because it's probably just completely not true. Like, just, feel into it. It's all tricks. It's trickery. So when you come to me on the 15th of June and we look into mastering the art of sales, it is information that I can promise you've never heard before. One, because I made it all up, so I know. And two, because I have taken all the bullshit and the trickery and the lies that I've been force-fed and that I used to believe. I've been a high-ticket sales closer. I've done these calls. I've closed $50,000 on the phone. That's just insane. These things were just wild. I don't use these tricks. I don't overcome sales objections. No, I don't use a whiteboard unless it's to prove how ridiculous these models are. Maths and numbers, it's meaningless. And I will show you what an alternative is that actually has integrity, makes you feel comfortable, makes you feel confident, because you are not sleazy selling anything. There's no sleaze involved. There's just sharing the truth. And if you want to know how to do that so you can actually get comfortable and enjoy the process of sharing what you do with the world, then come to me on June 15th. It's from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Pacific time. You need me to send you the special code. So please slide into my DMs. You don't even have to sign up to a form for this one. I'm literally doing it a very small, tight group. I'm sharing all my secrets and I would love for you to be there so I can share with you how to master the art of sales. Not trickery, not sleazy sales, although I'll of course point a few of those tricks out to you so you can catch them when you see them and never get trapped yourself. Hope you enjoyed these little trainings. I'm glad, I'm liking that you're enjoying this. And I will see you on the 15th. None of this, just the truth. Bye. Okay, I hope that you guys could see that too at the back end here. Bye.